Hey folks, Ish Lenz, also known as Audible Agent here. Just wanted to do a quick intro and maybe a little bit of a story before you watch this speed pick. So yeah, basically the story is I started picking this ASSA V10 gins a couple weeks ago. We had some family stuff going on, so I didn't get to focus on it too much, but I got back to it a couple days ago and realized I was able to pick it fairly quickly. I think it was around 2.5 minute mark or something like that, and mentioned that to some other people, and someone who I won't name, but he knows who he is, said he thought he could do it in 1 minute. I thought about it. I was like, I think I could do it in 1 minute as well. And so started practicing, and I think yesterday I got down to 1:15 and then 1:05, which I did get on video, but I totally screwed up the gutting. And then, it was time for bed, so decided, whatever, let's pick this back up today. And, I had mentioned too, I thought, sub 1 minute was possible. And if you, watch this video, you can still see there's time to be made up as I'm doing this pick, but, getting it in about 51, 52 seconds, not totally sure. I got to go back and review the footage. I'm pretty happy with that. And I didn't originally intend to pick this lock as a speed pick. This is an LPU Black Belt 2 lock. I just wanted to, pick it. It's my fourth black belt lock that I'm picking. But, knowing I was, starting off around the 2.5 minute mark and knew I could get that down quicker, I thought, yeah, why not? Why not turn it into a speed picking video as well? And some of you, I'm sure, are with me in the #unlocked Discord channel. There's a speed picking sub channel there. And I think the quickest time for this, the leader is somewhere in the 9 minute plus mark, so getting this in like 51, 52 seconds I think blows that out of the water, and I'm pretty happy about it. Real quick, I realized this after gutting, but key pin 6 and 5 are flipped around, so 6 is the high lift, 5 is the low lift. So I believe it should be like that, but it doesn't really matter. All the components are there. I think I demonstrate that in the video. And if you're wondering about this lock too, I got this from Adam, who's pretty well known on the LPU Discord. This came to me as, I believe, new old stock. There were, absolutely zero signs of picking or wear. So any signs of that you see are strictly from me and learning to pick this lock, and probably a lot of it too is the speed picking. Yeah, pretty stoked. I'm kind of curious what the world record is out there, if anybody knows. I am not going to be so arrogant as to assume this is the world record, but it can't be too far off of it, I wouldn't think. But then again, I know there's still a ton of time I could save in my strategy for picking this. And when you watch the video, I try to call out what I'm doing when I'm doing it, but basically, the order of operations at a high level is set the gins into the counter milling, set the sidebar pins, and then finish setting all of the gins. And so in phase 1, I think the order was pin 3, which is standard driver, pin 2, pin 1, then pin 4, then pin 6. And you'll notice I didn't have to touch pin 5 in that first phase. And I think it's because as I'm lifting pin 6 up so high, I'm also getting pin 5 into the counter milling. Either that or it's, starting off in the counter milling. I think that's a possibility. And then, sidebars, basically the two middle pins are max lift. And so I have to cycle through pins 2, 3, and 4 a couple times to get them into their true gate. Then pin 5 needs just a couple clicks, and pin 1 is a single click. It's a really low lift. That sets the sidebar. And then to finish setting the gins, the order of operations is pin 5, which is that very low lift, pin 2, then pin 1, then pin 4, and then lastly pin 6, which is really awkward to locate, and that's why you see me switch to a different pick there at the end. Also, you know, I can't really get this one all the way, you know, lifting it up all the way. It just it snags on the what am I trying to say? It snags on the warding and robs me of feedback, so it's really tricky to get on that last pin. So I switched to this SS Dev hook and get that last pin. That one's probably one of the ones where, you know, I could save the most time, honestly, because it takes me a while to locate it, and since it's the last pin, I'm being more cautious and trying to make sure that I get on it and I set it without dropping anything. Just in case you're curious, you know, this is a Southward pick that I modified just to make it fit the keyway, make it get under the side pins a little bit better. I like these because they're rigid flat bars, so you do actually get some feedback as opposed to the rounded style flags. I'm using a 50 thousandths pry bar, which you can see I've removed some material because at 50 thousandths it wasn't fitting in top of the keyway for me, so had to shave off a little material and get a very tight fit so I could control the plug properly. And then this is a pick from Lock Tools. I believe this is 15 thousandths. I mean, it must be because my 18 thousandths Jimmy Longs don't really fit, at least going from the bottom. And, you know, I'm only picking from the bottom during the first phase, and then I moved to the side ledge for the last phase, except for pin 6. So that's, you know, gotta go back to a really thin profile pick and with a steep hook. So yeah, that's the story on this. It's kind of funny, as I was unlocking this at the beginning of the video, this little chain popped off, so you hear key go flying. But yeah, I don't know that I have too much else to say. I'm pretty happy about this speed pick. Pretty happy about this pick in general. So I think I've done enough talking. Let you get on to watching the speed pick, and then watching my shaky hands as I'm pumped full of adrenaline trying to gut this without making a mistake. Take care. Three, 2, 1, 4, 6 side pins. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, pin 5, pin 1, sidebar set, straight to pin 5. 5 is set, pin 2, pin 1, pin 4. 4 is set, straight to pin 6. Make sure I'm on it. Yes! Holy shit. I think that was about 51 seconds. Sub 1 minute ASSA V10 Gins pick. Yes. All right, I gotta be super careful now and gut this. That is definitely the fastest I've ever picked this. Okay. Show. Ooh, I might just set the pins into. Did I just freaking break this? No. Okay. Whew. Thought I just did a stupid and sent the pins into the sidebar. Oh my god, that would have sucked. Locked back up. Okay. Let's Zoom out. Okay, let's get some tools in here. Holy shit. All right, I gotta slow down. That is an adrenaline rush for sure. I don't even want to tell you how many attempts that took. By the way, apologies for the noise in the background. Got cleaners here. Okay. All right, let's see. Get a follower. To go ahead and take the key out. I want to show that there are no zero lifts. We can see that. Let's take the sidebar off. I'll show close-ups of all of this, of course. Sidebar spring. I'm going to take sidebar pin 1 out. Two. Three. 4. 5. Let's dump the springs. Okay, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. Going to dump the pins. Actually, let's see. I'm going to do one thing before I dump the pins to show that the flats of the pins are in the right direction. I think we can see that. Let's make some room here. Okay. Pin 1. Let's pin 2. Come on. Pin 3. Pin 4. Pin 5 and 6. Actually, I think it goes in that order. Okay. Let's see. I'll show the plug real quick. Chamber 3 is the one without countermilling in this. Here's the sidebar chamber. It's real quick before I forget. There's the other side showing the countermilling. The side pins go in. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 doesn't have it. 4, 5, 6. Same thing on the other side. 1, 2, or 6, 5, 4. 3 doesn't have it. 2 does. 1. All right, now let's get these gins out carefully. All right, tweezers. All right, we're going to start with pin 1. See the top of the gin just poking out. I'll show it a little better. There we go. Okay, that's gin 1. Gin 2. Pin 3 is a standard. I'm gonna get another follower here. Let's see. Okay. We're going to go from the back. So we'll be looking at gin 6 first. Okay, there you go. And gin 5. I think that one's a short guy. I think you can see the lip there. Let it creep out a little more. There we go. Lastly, gin 4. Okay, let's dump all of these springs out. Okay, let's take a look at the sidebar groove. Let's see. Again, apologies for the noise cleaners. Take a close look at the sidebar. And let's see what else. Do a close-up. I showed the plug. I showed the sidebar groove. Let's get real close. Okay. Let's see if I can show those sidebar pins a little bit better. Trying to think of how to rotate these without bumping the camera and whatnot. Whoops. Let's see. Come on. See the sidebar groove. There's that last one. The false gates on this just do not grab nearly as hard as they do on the 6Ks. I was told that before I even started picking this. It's definitely true. So yeah, that's it. I think I got it finally. This is like the 4th time speed picking this and trying to gut it without failing. Just trying to think if I forgot anything. I don't think I did. Got the plug, showed the counter milling, we explored the plug, we saw the sidebar, groove, saw the sidebar pins, we saw the gins come out in the correct orientation, all the springs are there. I think that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this.